What's up, guys? I'm Craig. Welcome back to All Nerd Everything, where I discuss everything from movies, TV shows, comic books, and professional wrestling. And I've seen thousands, literally thousands of movies over. There are several movies I love that I've seen hundreds and hundreds of times, but I wanted to talk about movies that I've seen once that I've either disliked or was it or that wasn't investing me emotionally to a point where I wanted to watch it again. Now, for me, there could be a great performance in a movie that everyone loves. Like, for example, everyone loves the Joker. However, I Wa- Joaquin Phoenix's performance is great, but I don't think the movie is all that special, considering that it gets a lot of stuff wrong about mental health, and it's just a combination of two Robert De Niro films, which is Taxi Driver and in King of Comedy. But I'll get to that in another video. But in this specific video, as the title says, I wanted to discuss movies I've watched once and will never ever watch again, whether it's because I thought it was terrible or whether I thought I wasn't emotionally invested in the story, or rather the movie just altogether was structured and written pretty badly. But let me know your guys' movies that you watched once and will never watch again. But before I get into that, don't forget to hit the bell icon and like and follow me to stay updated for more, movie news and movie and TV show reviews. But kicking off with number one, you have Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, it took me a couple of months to actually watch this film when it initially first came out. I'm not a Zack Snyder fan at all. I think his fan base is very toxic, and yeah, his movies look great, but in some of his movies, they look just very, very badly shot. Like the Rebel Moon film, it just look the it just the way the movie was shot. It just looked very dark and depressing and gloomy, and I'm not trying to get that vibe with. I'm not trying to watch that all the time. It's just kind of it takes me out into the experience of the film. But Zack Snyder's Justice League, of course, he makes all of the heroes kill. The movie is 4 hours long. People were bragging about how they saw this movie for more than once, and I was just like, okay, congratulations. What am I supposed to do with that? You love the movie? That's cool, fine. And I finally came in and decided to watch it a couple of months after the movie came out, and I was just like, I mean, it was cool. It was whatever. It's nothing special. I mean, it's definitely a lot better than the Justice League, and I do love the. I will say I love the VFX, the cinematography. The VFX on Steppenwolf looks a whole lot better. I will say Zack Snyder's not great at storytelling, but he is great when it comes to action sequences and how he wants to present his movie visually and on a cinematic scale. So, like I said, the VFX is great, cinematography is great. I love the action sequences, the slow mo stuff. Get that out of here. We only need to watch that with the Flash, and then again, it seemed like it was too they there was way too much of it, and the annoying Wonder Woman music every time Wonder Woman came on the screen. I just wanted to yank my hair out. I just wanted to scream at the TV because it was so annoying. And also, Bruce Wayne being the one to bring the Justice League together makes absolutely no sense, because even though he has the Bat family, he kind of is just, you know, like I consider Batman like his association with the Justice League is kind of like I would have presented it how it was in the animated series, where he was like If you guys need help, just call me and I'll be there. That's the way I see his association with the Justice League. But he goes out of his way to find all of them and, bring them all together. And in the show, it was Martian Manhunter. And he appears at the very tail end of the movie. And it's like, where was he the whole time? And they teased Green Lantern, who wasn't in the film, and HB Warner Brothers didn't want him in the film for some unknown, strange reason. So, yeah, I mean, Cyborg was definitely written a lot better in this, but I don't think this movie is a masterpiece like a lot of Justice League, like a lot of Zack Snyder fans keep saying that it is. So that's my number one. Number two is, God, Fantastic Four Stick, the 2014 one that came out, I believe 2014. And this movie almost ruined all of these actors' careers, specifically Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan, which isn't their fault. And this is more so on the director and the studio going back and forth. I don't know what the problem was. They said that Josh Trank was the showing up to work late or drunk, and that he had some misunderstandings with the studio over how he wanted the movie to be presented. And then you had the backlash of Michael B. Jordan playing Johnny Storm and being black, which is completely ridiculous in my opinion. And the movie is just, it's just so ugly. It is hideous to look at. The acting, I've only seen this movie once, and I can hardly remember it. That's how bad this movie was. I pretty much erased that portion out of my mind. If it wasn't for a movie like, if it wasn't for Creed and like Whiplash, I'm pretty sure Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan would not be considered. You know, they wouldn't be they wouldn't it would take them a while to climb back up the ladder if it wasn't for films like that. And even like Black Panther and Top Gun Maverick. And Michael B. Jordan had his shot at redemption at Black Panther with Eric Killmonger, and he knocked it out of the park because he had a great director like Ryan Coogler backing him up with a very sympathetic backstory, playing this deranged sociopath who just wanted revenge for being abandoned by his family. So yes, this movie is absolutely abysmal. There's hardly any action in the movie. The only action that we get is in maybe like the last act of the movie, which is really sad to say. And the movie's only 90 minutes. It's another origin story, which we don't need to see. They went with the ultimate edition of the Fantastic Four origin story, and it was just garbage, just trash, just ugh. Yes. So number two, Fantastic Four stick. Number three, next up, Florence Pugh film, A24 film, and that is Midsommar. And Midsommar, I only heard about this film a couple of years ago when a lot of white women were saying that it's pro feminism, and that you know it's a it's for the girls movie. And when I saw this, I was just thinking, how does this scream feminism at all? Like, this movie traumatized me. This is one of the few times that a this is the first time a movie has scared me since I was a child. I mean, the this movie practically mentally scarred me, and I have not gone back to watch this movie ever since the film came out. I had nightmares for a few days on end, especially with that horrible cliff scene. And the main thing is that this movie is not a feminist movie. It's not even the last shot of the movie It's horrifying, and no one wins at the end. The cult wins. No one wins. Danny loses because she is now uh, a victim of the cult, which I don't understand how people didn't understand that. Everyone was practically tortured, psychologically tortured, and unalived by the cult. So yeah, in the end, Midsommar, the cult wins. No one wins. It's a white supremacist movie. Red flag. Yes. So Midsommar, number 3. Next up, um, God, I'm definitely going to go with Green Book. Green Book. Now, I didn't understand why a lot of people hated this film when it came out. When it won an Oscar. I never heard of the film at all. Didn't see the film. Then I watched it, and I was like, okay, makes a lot of sense. I actually think that this is one of the worst Oscar wins, and that Black Panther or Black Klansman should have won Best Picture, and even Michael B. Jordan, he should have won Best Supporting Actor for Eric Killmonger over Mahershala Ali. Should have been nominated for Black Panther too. Uh, Black Panther as well. And Green Book, cinematography is great, acting is great, but the story is not about uh, the limo driver or whatever. They just fabricated a lot of that stuff to make it a white savior narrative, and I absolutely hate that. And yeah, I don't want to revisit this film again. I think one time was enough, and I think I gave this like 2 stars on Letterboxd. Yeah, I don't need to revisit that. So yeah, coming in number 4 is Green Book, and finally, most importantly, another horror film, Halloween Ends. Now, I did not see Halloween Kills at all. Halloween Ends is one of the worst in the entry. I have not seen every single Halloween film, but this one is one of the worst. Absolutely abysmal, and I can't believe some people defend this film. The only thing I like about it is the kills, but the fact that they made Michael Myers a lackey to this nerdy incel white kid that gets bullied is beyond me. Like, I've seen that story told hundreds of times with incel white dude turning into a psycho serial killer because he was either rejected by a woman or just bullied. And yeah, I'm tired of seeing that. It's very lazy, and it's one of the easiest stories to write. And um yeah, I feel like nowadays a lot of people don't get picked on because they're nerdy. I mean, I mean, not to say that it stopped because of that, but nowadays it's like it's a rare occurrence, and plus, like I said, it's the easiest story to tell and one of the easiest motivations for someone to be a killer in these type of films. And Corey and Allison, they only known each other for like 2 days, and she's already pissed off at Laura and goes into her like bad girl phase and trying to fall in love with the bad boy and thinking she's in love with him, and ignoring her family's warnings about him. And like, it's been like 2 days and y'all are already in love. like what is going on? The writing was just absolutely terrible. Corey went into the sewer and then beat the shit out of Michael Myers and took his mask, and this just made Michael Myers look like a bitch. And the fight between Michael and Laura, I mean, yes, the fight between Michael and Laura was what, like 3 minutes, and it was towards the end of the film, and it was absolutely disappointing. Just terrible. I don't want to see this film ever again. It's one of the worst Halloween films of the entire franchise. But that is my list of films that I watched once and will never watch again. But let me know what you guys think of my list. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.